to the West, even when they were so-called Christians, even before the prevalence of blatant atheism. They viewed religion as basically a philosophical guide of moral conduct, platitudes that are supposed to sort of provide lessons on morality and so forth. Generally vague ideas, vague platitudes, and usually used for the purpose of consoling those whose exploitation was simultaneously justified by means of the same religion. In other words, religion was both a pretext for oppression and a means of pacifying the oppressed. It was dealt with cynically from the beginning, and it was treated as nothing more than a weapon of domination by the powerful and a sort of brainwashing placebo for the dominated. The masses used it for comfort, for telling themselves that they were good people and so forth, and that was all that mattered. And the overwhelming majority of people, both then and now, have no real knowledge of their scripture. The Christians. You could tell them a quote from the Buddha and tell them that it was from the Gospels, and they wouldn't know any better. But once that system of power was transferred to secular authorities, then religion just became, about generally being a good person. And for a lot of us, we've started to think the same way about religion today, even about Islam. It's not unusual today to hear Muslims say, Islam is in your heart, or even as long as you're a good person, that's the important thing. That's what matters. That's what Islam is all about, trying to make you a good person. And that's why you can even find Muslims today feeling uncomfortable or even objecting or rejecting the idea that there are nice, kind, charitable kuffar who will go to Jahannam, because you have reduced religion to nothing but a sort of self-help, feel-good, character-building manual. Their sole focus is on the dunya. God to them is just a conceptual, symbolic principle. I mean, you can hear Jordan Peterson, for example, who sees God as a sort of archetype of the highest good or what have you. It's purely conceptual. That makes an individual's relationship to God really just a relationship with themselves. This is why, in my opinion, the West is flooded, in fact, with self-help books and life coaches and so on, because religion to them is just another version of that. And it doesn't even have exclusivity in terms of being the sole source of guidance for them. I mean, of course, as time has worn on, religion for them has become entirely sidelined, even as a self-help tool. It can't compete in the market, the self-help market. I mean, you hear how they use the word God, that the word God is used in the West interchangeably with profanity, even the name Jesus, literally spoken like a curse word. So clearly, even for those who don't claim to be atheists, they are atheistic in their thinking, actually. And again, this is because of their approach to religion. Even the so-called religious among them adhere essentially to a godless religion. All of this reduces religion. It belittles religion, and it removes from religion any deeper meaning or consequence. Like with everything else in the West, religion is just a narrative to them. And they can ply it as they like. They can bend it, they can invoke it or discard it to suit their purposes.